he's busted up. You know, I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he...
Is next for Ilia Topuria. Now Ilia Topuria's got to heal. He's got to heal, and there's nothing Ilia Topuria can do, because I feel he's set in his ways of how he goes about his fights, and how he goes about his fights aren't bad. I think he will always have a hard time with somebody who's able to withstand the shots that Ilia Topuria can.
Ilia Topuria's remarkable winning streak came to an end at UFC Freedom Fights 250. But the result itself may not be the biggest concern coming out of the event. Instead, much of the attention has shifted to the injuries Topuria reportedly suffered during the brutal contest. According to UFC President Dana White, Topuria is suspected of having sustained an orbital fracture following the grueling battle inside the Octagon. Reports indicate that the damage was significant, making it one of the most physically demanding and punishing fights of his professional career. As a result, the focus has quickly moved away from the outcome of the fight and toward Topuria's recovery. Facial injuries of this nature can require extensive medical evaluation and rehabilitation, which is why his team is reportedly prioritizing his health before discussing any plans for a return to competition. For fans, the news serves as a stark reminder of how unforgiving mixed martial arts can be. One night inside the cage can dramatically alter a fighter's immediate future, regardless of the success they achieved beforehand. Now, the biggest question surrounding Topuria isn't who he fights next. It's how long recovery will take, and when he'll be healthy enough to begin the next chapter of his career.
He's in the hospital. He's busted up. You know, I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has broken orbital. I don't know that. That's not a fact. I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And you know, tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good, and not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax and rest.
In the aftermath of the event, Dana White also revealed that Justin Gaethje earned an impressive $825,000 in performance bonuses, further underscoring the magnitude of his victory on one of the sport's biggest stages. The substantial payout served as a reward not only for the result itself, but also for the unforgettable performance he delivered inside the Octagon. Throughout the fight, Gaethje showcased the toughness, pressure, and experience that have made him one of the most respected competitors in mixed martial arts. For many fans and analysts, the bonus was a reflection of just how impactful his performance was. It wasn't simply a win. It was the kind of statement victory that captures the attention of the entire MMA world. While much of the conversation has focused on Topuria's injuries and recovery, Gaethje's success on fight night shouldn't be overlooked. Between the victory, the recognition, and the significant financial reward, the event marked one of the most memorable moments of his career.
This is tonight, our fight of the night, Ilia Gaethje, performance of the night, Gaethje and Gone. So Gaethje wins like $825,000 in bonus. Sweet.
Justin Gaethje later reflected on the fight, offering a measured and respectful breakdown of Ilia Topuria's performance inside the Octagon. Gaethje acknowledged Topuria's sharpness early in the bout, specifically praising his speed, movement, and effective body shot attacks that created real problems in the opening rounds. However, he also pointed out that as the fight progressed beyond the early exchanges, the momentum began to shift. According to Gaethje's assessment, the pace and pressure of the fight started to take a toll, and the consistent high-level exchanges gradually affected Topuria's rhythm and confidence over time. When asked about the experience, Gaethje gave Topuria full credit for his skill set and preparation, even suggesting he was among the toughest opponents he had faced outside of elite names like Khabib Nurmagomedov. The conversation then turned into a deeper reflection on the matchup itself, whether Topuria met expectations, exceeded them, or revealed new layers inside the cage that weren't fully visible before fight night. For Gaethje, it was clear that the fight wasn't just about winning or losing. It was about feeling the level of an opponent in real time, under pressure, where every exchange reveals something new. And in that sense, His comments highlighted both respect for Topuria's abilities and a clear understanding of how the fight ultimately unfolded as the rounds wore on.
Gave him all the respect in terms of like his skill set in there. You know, said probably the second best guy he prepared for outside of Khabib. But now that you're through Ilia, was he as good as you thought he was? Was he better than you thought he was? Just can you talk about what you experienced in there with him?
I mean, he's very good. I mean, my liver still hurts right now. Those body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast, but you know, when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. And, you know, again, I said it in the press conference leading up, I was like, he really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. And I said it, when we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the fuck? You know, that's what I did.
Expanding on that mindset, Justin Gaethje explained that absorbing heavy damage while still staying composed has always been a core part of his fighting approach. He described how moments of real adversity inside the cage don't just test technique. They force a fighter into a deeper survival state where instinct, toughness, and experience take over. For Gaethje, those difficult exchanges aren't something to avoid at all costs. Instead, they become situations where he learns to stay present under pressure, adjust in real time, and continue competing even when the momentum shifts against him. That ability to remain calm in chaos, according to his mindset, is what allows him to push through the hardest rounds and turn fights into long, attritional battles where mental resilience becomes just as important as physical output. In his view, it's often in those uncomfortable moments, when damage is being absorbed and fatigue sets in, that a fighter's true identity inside the octagon is revealed.
It's really hard to put it into words right now. I mean, just trying to enjoy this moment. And yeah, it was such a crazy ride. We had a lot of delays. A couple of the rehearsal delayed. Tonight delayed, but yeah, these are again, I wouldn't recommend this to my enemies. We are some of the toughest people on this earth, mentally, physically. All these guys up here and all the guys that lost tonight. We and me specifically, I've said it from day one. I'm a promoter's wet dream, and I proved that tonight.
Justin Gaethje revealed a rare look into his mindset heading into high-level fights, explaining that he mentally prepares for the possibility of losing in order to access a deeper, more primal version of himself inside the cage. He admitted that he expected adversity, even telling himself he might get hurt or overwhelmed, so that if it happened, he wouldn't break mentally in the moment. According to Gaethje, that mindset allowed him to stay composed even during the most dangerous exchanges of the fight. He explained that he absorbed heavy damage, but continued pushing forward, refusing to shut down under pressure. In his words, he reminded himself he might get embarrassed, in order to unlock the ability to dig deep when things became critical. Gaethje described moments where he was visibly in trouble, acknowledging he was rocked and pressured, but emphasized his ability to stay in the fight and endure the hardest sequences. Adding even more weight to the discussion, an older clip of Khabib Nurmagomedov resurfaced online, in which he referred to Gaethje as one of the hardest hitters he had ever faced in the UFC. That resurfaced comment reignited debate around Gaethje's finishing power, especially when compared to the damage seen in his more recent fights. Together, the interview and the old clip have fueled renewed conversation about Gaethje's fighting style, durability, and whether his wars inside the octagon are shaping the final chapter of his career, or just adding to his legacy as one of the most violent competitors in UFC history.
When I fight with Justin Gaethje, last fight, it was like when I go to the cage, you know, this guy, he hit like truck, you know, like nobody hit harder than Justin Gaethje. His kick, his punch, his left hook, right uppercut, you know, it's like, but I make him hit me, you know. Like when I go to the cage and I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring him to the deep ocean. Yeah. Deep ocean is like I'm gonna make him tired on stand-up, and I'm gonna bring him on ground and finish him there, you know. First of all, what I have to do, because he have very good wrestling base. He is very good wrestlers, and like beginning of fight, I knew like this guy don't let me wrestling, and I go through on his punch, kicks, and you know, it's like everything what happened with father, like I was thinking like nothing to.
Shifting into the title picture, Michael Bisping stated that Arman Tsarukyan has done enough to deserve the next lightweight title shot. Bisping argued that, at this stage, no other contender has built a stronger case for a championship opportunity, pointing to Tsarukyan's recent performances and consistency as key factors in his rise. In his view, the lightweight division now needs clear direction, and that direction, he believes, should move immediately toward Tsarukyan as the next challenger for the title.
When you look at the rankings, there's one name, and we all know whose name that is. It's Arman Tsarukyan. He is the guy that should get the shot. I think Justin Gaethje deserves right now to go and do whatever he wants to do, take as much time off as he likes, within reason. But Arman Tsarukyan needs to be the first defense. The man has been beating everybody. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, some of the performances that he's had, the finishes that he's had, and just the run that he's on, and the popularity that he has gained. You know, I mean, look at beating Charles Oliveira. I mean, destroying Dan Hooker last time out, and look at that against Beneil Dariush. It was mere seconds, like 16 seconds or something crazy like that. Arman Tsarukyan without a shadow of a...
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan has been making headlines with a series of comments aimed at Ilia Topuria following his recent defeat. Tsarukyan mocked the situation online, claiming confidence in his own position as the next potential title challenger, while also taking shots at Topuria's loss. In one viral comment, he stated, "Ilia, no mas to Topuria," signaling both rivalry and intent to move forward in the division. He also added further remarks on social media, including a controversial post where he said, "They called us crazy. Ilia, if you need any money for your medical bills, let me know," which quickly sparked debate across the MMA community. While Tsarukyan has been actively positioning himself in the title conversation, not everyone has joined in the criticism. Former UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson stepped in to defend Topuria, emphasizing that setbacks are a natural part of elite competition. He pointed out that many legendary champions, including Georges St-Pierre and John Jones, have experienced losses or difficult moments in their careers. Johnson stressed that one defeat does not define a fighter's legacy, and expressed confidence that Topuria still has the potential to recover, evolve, and return stronger than before. This contrast in reactions highlights the ongoing split in the MMA world between those focused on capitalizing on the moment and those emphasizing long-term legacy and resilience.
Ilia Topuria is 29 years old. He's made a ton of fucking money, and I mean, every great athlete loses. GSP lost. I've lost. I've gotten knocked out. Only person who hasn't lost, actually, he has lost. He lost to Hamill. John Jones has also lost. All the greats have lost, ladies and gentlemen. We've all lost, and that doesn't say that Ilia Topuria can't come back and be even great.
Demetrious Johnson recently shared his thoughts on potential future matchups for Ilia Topuria, suggesting several high-level fights that could properly test and showcase his full skill set. One of the matchups Johnson highlighted was a possible clash with Arman Tsarukyan. He pointed out that Tsarukyan's wrestling base, athletic movement, and overall fight IQ would create a compelling stylistic challenge for Topuria, especially at the elite level. Johnson also broke down how fight structure can completely change strategy. He explained that 3-round bouts often leave very little time for adjustment, meaning fighters must find success early or risk falling behind quickly. In contrast, 5-round title fights open the door for momentum shifts, deeper tactical changes, and long-term adaptations as the fight progresses. According to Johnson, that difference in timing and pacing can play a huge role in how elite matchups unfold, especially when both fighters are capable of making in-fight adjustments at a high level. Overall, his comments highlight not just potential future opponents for Topuria, but also the deeper strategic layers that define championship-level MMA.
Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan, that'll be a sick fight too. He's gonna have to deal with Arman Tsarukyan's athleticism, his wrestling, just his will to move around and just be dynamic as an athlete. You know, can Arman withstand Ilia Topuria's power if you get him out? Now, next time Ilia Topuria fights, if it isn't a title fight, it's gonna be 3 rounds, so Ilia Topuria has less rounds to work with. If it's a title fight, so he's got 5 rounds, it changes the strategy a little bit. You guys don't realize that. When you're doing a 3-round fight versus a 5-round fight, things change.
Adding to the post-fight reactions, Paddy Pimblett also weighed in, mocking Ilia Topuria by resurfacing an earlier tweet Topuria had directed at him following the fight against Justin Gaethje. Pimblett used the moment to taunt Topuria online, referencing the outcome of the bout and criticizing his performance with sharp sarcasm. His comments quickly spread across social media, adding further fuel to an already heated post-fight atmosphere. He also went as far as pushing the narrative of a potential rematch scenario involving Gaethje in the broader lightweight title picture, suggesting that the division should move toward an undisputed direction based on recent results. In a separate post-fight angle, additional commentary surfaced involving parody-style impressions of Islam Makhachev reacting to Gaethje's win over Topuria. The impersonation leaned into humor and exaggeration, joking about how Topuria should focus on recovery and development before pursuing higher-level challenges in the division. While clearly satirical in tone, these reactions still tapped into ongoing discussions around rankings, title contention, and the shifting lightweight landscape following a dramatic night of fights. Overall, the post-fight fallout has been a mix of serious analysis, rivalry-driven criticism, and comedic commentary, highlighting just how intense and emotionally charged the division has become.
Come to welterweight, you can't beat Justin. You need to spend 2-3 years in the hospital to fix your face, brother. Brother, why you do this? This bullshit guy, you look like strawberry. Don't compare legacy for mine to Ilia, this bullshit guy. I'm just joking, I'm not saying it, but bullshit guy. You talk about legacy, double champ, double champion. Brother, yes, lightweight and welterweight, brother. You can't come and ask for a fight. You can't even beat bullshit guy Justin Gaethje. Why this guy beat you, brother? Brother, this guy is Justin Gaethje for Bibi Netanyahu. Brother, you can't beat Justin. You want to fight the double champ? Come on, brother. Spend 2-3 years in Dr. Miami. Fix your face, brother. I don't want to hurt you.
From a managerial perspective, Ali Abdelaziz summed up the night by calling MMA unpredictable, while praising Justin Gaethje for his victory and also showing respect to Ilia Topuria, describing both men as elite competitors who delivered at the highest level. Abdelaziz stated, "This game is unforgiving. On any given night, anybody can lose. I believe Justin was going to win, and tonight he was the better man. He beat the champion and became the champion. That said, never celebrate another man's loss. Ilia Topuria is an incredible champion, a tremendous talent, and one of the best fighters in the world. Respect to both men for stepping in there and giving everything they had. Congratulations to Justin, and best of luck to Ilia on whatever comes next." On the other hand, the discussion around a potential future matchup between Islam Makhachev and Topuria has also shifted following the result. With Topuria now coming off a loss, many believe he would need to re-establish himself in the division before entering talks for a fight at that level again. Earlier reports suggested that negotiations for a potential fight between Makhachev and Topuria had already faced complications. Makhachev indicated he had accepted short-notice terms at one point, but the matchup reportedly fell through after financial disagreements, including claims of a significant purse demand from Topuria's side. According to those discussions, Topuria's team later pointed to contract and financial structure issues as key reasons the bout never materialized. Now, with the landscape changed, the conversation around that matchup appears to be on hold, at least for the foreseeable future, until Topuria reestablishes his position in the title picture.
Многие тебя тоже ждали на этом турнире, но вот Хабиб на нашем подкасте сказал, что он не хотел бы, чтобы ты там дрался. Сейчас ты понимаешь, почему он это сказал?
Плюс-минус понимаю, но у нас были разговоры. Я уже, как говорил, там в Твиттере я выкладывал. Иногда, если я молчу, все думают, что соперник, если разговаривает, то он правду говорит. Мне утром позвонили, предложили бой, я согласился. Ничего не прося, мне сами предложили бой с плюсом в гонораре. Потом на следующее утром перезвонили, сказали, что Топурия захотел где-то 20 что ли, миллионов. Ему отказали, и все, бой сорвался. И через пару часов его менеджер дал интервью, сказал, что нас не устроила сумма, чтобы подраться с Исламом, но за те же деньги по контракту они согласились драться.
Islam Makhachev later addressed the ongoing discussion surrounding a potential matchup, firmly denying any claims of injury that would have prevented him from competing. He stated that he was ready to accept the opportunity as soon as it was presented and made it clear that he did not withdraw due to physical issues. Makhachev also referenced internal discussions with his management team, explaining that he had already communicated his willingness to step in and compete if the deal had been finalized. According to his version of events, he was fully prepared to fight and had aligned himself with the possibility of taking the bout on short notice. leaving the decision ultimately dependent on negotiations and official confirmation. His comments added another layer to the ongoing debate, as differing accounts continue to circulate regarding how and why the matchup discussions ultimately fell apart.
Что-то уже, когда ты молчишь, они болтают, и люди начинают им верить просто в интернете, я думаю. Травма, они уже обо мне переживают. Прими там бой, я приму, но нет уже контракта, как я приму? Что я приму вообще? У меня нет никаких...
Islam's coming back from an injury, a hand injury. As soon as he's ready, we'll figure out what's next for him.
У меня есть старая травма руки, но это после завершения моей карьеры я ее буду оперировать. Но сейчас это не причина, что бои какие-то срывались. На делах мы видели, что было сейчас. Кто-то скажет, что это неправда, но я могу показать переписки с моим менеджером, мы с ним созванивались, переписывались. Я уже говорил тоже, мне он позвонил. В Белом доме бой против Топури. Я говорю, все, давай сразу. И дали мне, я даже не просил, они говорят, Али, гонорар поднимается, то, что в Белом доме. Я говорю...
Islam Makhachev also claimed that he accepted the bout immediately when contacted, stating that he was ready to step in without hesitation. However, he says the situation changed the following day, when negotiations reportedly collapsed after Ilia Topuria's side allegedly requested a significantly higher purse. Makhachev also pushed back against claims that he withdrew due to injury, firmly insisting that no physical issue played a role in his decision and that he had already agreed to compete before the deal fell through. His comments add another layer of confusion to the situation, as conflicting accounts continue to surface regarding what truly caused the matchup to fall apart.
Говорит, нет, говорит, отменяйте. Я бы почему чувствовал, что не так. Он говорит, просто он попросил какие-то баснословные гонорары, и все. Менеджер дал интервью и сказал, что нам предложили мало денег за этот бой, и мы отказались. Это же его менеджеру слава. Илья может что хочет говорить, но его же менеджер договаривался об этом все. Ну, часто стараюсь не отвечать, ведь в перепалки в интернете не вступать, но когда уже ересь несут, когда уже ты уже молчишь, и люди начинают верить, что это правда, что он говорит, что я снялся из-за травмы руки. Никакой вообще речи о руке не было, я сразу же согласился без никаких там запросов на гонорар или что.
But at this point, those discussions don't really matter anymore, because the momentum has shifted. The aura around Ilia Topuria has taken a hit, and many believe he now needs to rebuild his standing before making any big calls in the division. Turning back to Justin Gaethje's shocking victory, MMA analyst, MMA Guru, described the fight as a major turning point at UFC Freedom 250 on the White House lawn, where Gaethje secured a fourth-round TKO to become the undisputed lightweight champion. He called it a significant upset and a full narrative shift in the lightweight division, noting that Gaethje consistently outworked Topuria across most rounds, even while surviving difficult and dangerous moments early in the fight. According to that breakdown, it wasn't just a win, it was a statement performance that completely reshaped the title picture moving forward.
Justin Gaethje just defeated Ilia Topuria by round 4 TKO to corner stoppage at UFC Freedom 250 on the White House lawn and is now the undisputed lightweight world champion at 37 years old. I can't believe I'm saying these things. I thought Strickland's upset against Chimaev was going to be enough this year for the MMA gods to start making logic true once again in this sport, but no. Justin Gaethje puts a whipping on Ilia Topuria. Fair enough, survives a nightmarish round 2, but I had Justin Gaethje winning this fight 3 rounds to 1.
Justin Gaethje's performance was further analyzed by MMA Guru, who suggested that Gaethje was already ahead on the scorecards before the finish against Ilia Topuria. According to his breakdown, Gaethje's control of key moments across multiple rounds gave him a consistent edge in the fight, even before the stoppage. He pointed to Topuria's difficulty in handling Gaethje's relentless pressure, especially in jab exchanges and mid-range engagements, which gradually shifted the momentum of the bout. MMA Guru described this as a crucial turning point, where Gaethje's pace and pressure began to dictate the rhythm of the fight, forcing Topuria into more defensive reactions as the rounds progressed.
It wasn't even like Ilia Topuria was clearly ahead the whole fight and Justin Gaethje just broke him in round 4 and then Ilia Topuria quits on the stall. I had Gaethje up 3 rounds to 1. I thought he won the first round very clear. It was competitive. Ilia was landing big shots. What am I saying? What am I saying? The whole card was insane. But to finish like this, I can't wait to break down the rest of the card. But this fight, Ilia comes out, he's wandering into jabs like he's never boxed a day in his life. Generational aura loss for Ilia Topuria.
Jorge Masvidal described the bout as one of the greatest fights he has ever seen, praising the high-level skill shown by both athletes inside the octagon. He specifically highlighted the movement, feints, and pace changes from Justin Gaethje, noting how those adjustments played a major role in shaping the flow of the fight. Masvidal admitted that he had initially expected Gaethje to struggle badly going into the matchup, but was ultimately impressed by what he witnessed. He called it a statement victory and one of the biggest wins of Gaethje's career, emphasizing that the performance elevated Gaethje's reputation even further on the biggest stage.
I'm watching fights since I'm 12, for MMA, since I'm 12 years old. Wow, this ranks as one of the greatest fights ever because on the skill set was just high. It wasn't that they were mean and vicious and violent. The skill level was also very high. What Gaethje was doing, the fakes, the movement, the constant changing of pace, of direction. I gotta say that Gaethje just really impressed me. You know, I was one of these big advocates that he's gonna get smoked, he's gonna get beat up, and he went in there and did some special stuff. So props to Gaethje. Can't believe that. It has to be. It's a bigger win than Sean beating Chimaev, I think.
Jorge Masvidal broke down how Justin Gaethje set the tone early in the fight, explaining that he dictated the pace right from the opening round. Masvidal highlighted Gaethje's sharp jab work, feints, and uppercuts as key weapons that helped him establish control in the early exchanges. He also noted that Gaethje's movement and timing appeared to catch Ilia Topuria off guard, especially in the opening rounds. According to Masvidal, Topuria came forward too directly without enough feinting or setup work, which made him more predictable in the early exchanges. As a result, he suggested that Topuria paid the price for those early tactical mistakes, as Gaethje was able to capitalize and build momentum from the very beginning of the contest.
I didn't see this happening. I thought there was a chance something like this could happen, but not the way that the fight played out from the start. Gaethje was able to dictate the pace because the first round he won, and the first round is where he actually hurt his right eye. He managed to land a real good left hook, good jab, some fakes that led into uppercuts. He faked the takedown, came with the uppercut. Like Gaethje looked fast, sharp. He used his length. I think Ilia early on, he just walked straight forward. Ilia walked him down, didn't do no feints, just straight walked at him. And he hit a lot of jabs right in the beginning. If people watch that first round, that first minute, you're gonna see a lot of mistakes that Ilia just made. He just like walked right through him. I don't think he respected him too much, you know, he just came right at him.
That's everything for today's video. With the lightweight division once again shifting after a chaotic night of action, major questions are already building around Ilia Topuria, especially his recovery timeline and how quickly he can return to competition after reportedly sustaining significant damage. At the same time, Justin Gaethje's victory immediately pushes him deeper into the title picture, opening the door for bigger fights, higher stakes, and potential super fight discussions moving forward. Now all eyes will be on whether Topuria can rebound and re-establish himself at the top of the division, while Gaethje finds himself in a position where the biggest opportunities of his career are suddenly within reach. The lightweight division has opened up once again, and both names are right at the center of it. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more UFC post-fight reactions, fighter updates, and MMA analysis.